Welcome back, all our 40K fanatics out there. I'm DJ.
And I'm Lane.
And we are here with Tim's Nation bringing another Warhammer 40K battle report. Now, I know I said the last game was the last game with the Imperial agents.
Lies.
I did. And I'm just going to tell you the truth straight up. It ain't going to be the last game for a while. We're making this happen. We're taking this in November. And I have subjugators upstairs to be built.
Subductors.
This is what we keep them around for. Otherwise, I can't speak snow properly. And we have all the breachers. We are almost 100% WYSIWYG to play this in a tournament.
It'll be a while before it's painted, but at least we're going to have them built for it.
Yes. Yeah, no. We're not winning any painting prizes with this, but at least we have the right models. And honestly, probably after November and stuff, I'll take a break from this because this is a mind-boggler of an army.
Yeah, no, it's tough. It requires... There are lots of neat shenanigans and tricks you can do with Imperial agents, but it requires a lot of thinking. You can't, there's no room for error. You make a mistake and it'll run right over you.
No. Yeah, exactly. We're discussing the fact that some of the characters are very tough, especially based around the breachers and the reroll wound ability, that some of the character damage aspect of being kind of more of a focal point. And of course, the Death Watch.
Death Watcher pack. No more Grey Knights today, right?
No more Grey Knights. Yeah, just too costly. Need the up-down. Yeah, really do. 190 points for a squad versus 160 for 3 Voidsman squads and a Deep Strike Relic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, well, we discussed a lot of what hasn't happened. So let's actually go through what the list we're playing today. And then we can kind of discuss more what some of the fears. Because honestly, there is a lot of scary stuff in Lane's list.
Yep.
Tell us about it.
All right, I'm going to run through my Space Marines here real quick. If you want to know more about all the units and everything I'm bringing in my strategies, please check out both mine and DJ's Army videos, separate videos, so you get a lot more detail here. But for today, just running through here, we are Ultra Marines in the Vanguard Spearhead. I have 2 characters, Marnius Calgar making his channel debut. That's right, he's painted black because I'm going to keep painting every Space Marine unit I have as Death Watch colors. We also have a Uriel Ventress here. We've got a 5-man Assault Intercessors with Jump Pack. Also making a channel debut is the Blade Guard Veterans Squad. He got these guys painted up recently. 3-man Blade Guard Veterans. We do have a 6-man Devastator Centurion Squad with the twin-linked las cannons and the Centurion missiles. We have a 6-man Eradicator Squad, a 6-man Plasma Inceptor Squad, 5-man Infiltrator Squad, 1 Land Raider Redeemer, and 2 Whirlwinds. DJ, what are you bringing today?
All right, so we're getting very, very close. We have a couple things that are still not exactly, well, stand as Imperial agents. But even when we do have a Draxus here. Lane has one, but I'm going to continue using the Shark on the surfboard. So here's my Navy fleet. We have, in the character spot, the Calidus and the Vindicare. Vindicare is probably going to get swapped out today for an Eversor. We'll come back on that more later. The 3 squads, Voidsman and Arms that I talked about, 2 Helverins, 3 Rhinos, 3 squads of Breachers, and then an Inquisitor, 1 Navigator, 1 Rogue Trader, and of course Draxus. Making it back by popular demand, we do have a 10-man of the Death Watch kill team. We're going with the big squad today, and the Watchmaster leading them. We will also bring Artemis for some secondary love. And last but surely not least is going to be the last run of these guys on the channel, the Necron Warriors acting as...
Subductors.
Thank you. So this is obeisance all over again. Except I got obeisance right eventually.
You're going to build these Subductors. Now you should learn them when you build them.
And Transuranic Arquebus.
You got that one. It's a lot harder.
Transuranic Arquebus.
It's a lot harder than Subductors.
That one's so weird. The first time you said it, I was like, the first time you said it to me, I looked at him like, you're just making up words now, aren't you? Nope. Felt like I was talking to an orc player. So I got my Snapgaz Wizards that are going to shoot their Wizzly Spindits.
And the Bob Diddly Dunks.
It's like, tell me what died? What did you take out? But yeah, I talked a bunch about mine. Now you guys see I added some Rhinos. I like those a lot. Just for secondary play as well as just the defense, that extra defense it gives. Death Watch kill team, catapult out. We've all seen that before. And Helverins for some long-range fire to be able to pop open vehicles. Everything else is basically how it's been before, with Draxus, the
Subductors?
Thank you. Okay. And how those guys have functioned, that's going to be similar. And then just the Eversor for, you have a lot of infantry. But let's talk a little bit about that and why this is so scary is specifically 2 models that I've been thinking about since I accidentally found out their enlist and we just went, yeah, I got to deal with that. 2 whirlwinds, man.
Yeah, the whirlwinds are great. Everybody's running them. So meta, guys. GW obviously wanted to make sure indirect fire was not too strong, so they raised the points and everything. So each whirlwind is 180 points. They have indirect fire when they shoot something with their weapon. They have to take a battle shock test. Strength 8, AP 2, 2 damage, D6 plus 3 shots with blast. So they can do some work into things. I just really brought them because a lot of people are building lists assuming people are not bringing indirect fire, assuming they're not going to run into it. So you got a lot of small 5-man units around the table. They were using for scoring, that sort of thing. So the idea was with whirlwinds, I can pick those things up. Also, there's a lot of Blood Angels and Drukhari and World Eaters and even some Custodes, really strong close combat armies that can hide behind terrain and then move really fast into you. So I just wanted something that I could pound them a little bit before they got out. And the way I built this list, the Vanguard list here, most of my units don't need Oath of Moment because they have a lot of inbuilt rerolls, or I have a stratagem where I can give them +1 to hit, that sort of thing. So the whirlwinds, most of the time, are going to get to shoot at the Oath target. I'm going to pick the Oath target based on the whirlwinds, and so they'll at least get some consistent hits in.
Nice. For most of my game, just to throw it out there a bit, one of the things that we discussed and we built into this is a lot of CP regeneration. I have the ability to keep quite a good reservoir of command points if I play stratagems right in the right direction and in the right units. The Inquisitor being able to give me command points back for a stratagem used on a 3-up that targets a unit. You have the Watchmaster cutting one down by 1, 0, but by 1 by the data shape rules. And then the Rogue Trader Entourage. Yeah, thank you.
They have the enhancement.
Correct. That gives me one of those 3 stratagems that I can use for free. And one of which being, what's the 2 command point one? Do you remember the name offhand?
No.
It gives you Sustained, it gives you Lance, and gives you Ignore Cover when you fight a unit on an objective. That's 2 CP. But because of the data sheets, it is called out directly to be used for free. So therefore, that one does get to be used for free. So spreading these things out, I can give a lot of units a little buffs and a little abilities and still keep a good CP pool and, discard for tactical if need be. So that's going to be a lot of the plays there too. Try and hold off with the subjugators, funnel my attacks into one specific thought. Thank you. And let the Land Raider run around aimlessly because I really don't have anything that can touch it.
Yeah, he's going to be tough. He's going to cook you too. So
he's going to get punched by a chain fist at some point in the game. I'm not saying he's going to get destroyed by a
breacher chain fist.
I'm saying that at some point in the game, a breacher is going to be in a position that he goes, you know what? Got nothing else to do, and he's just going to punch a tank.
Got to roll that 5 to hit though.
Hey. We'll get there when we get there. All right, odd or even?
Even.
It is odd.
It's odd.
And you know what else is odd? I will choose to deploy first.
As you should, if you've got infiltrators.
Yes, as I should, and I mistakenly did to you last time. Right. It was it's immediately like, well, why did I do that?
Right.
All right, we'll be back after deployment. It's at this point in the video, I really kind of want one of those things that they do when they're shooting movies that's like take 1, take 2. Because we're at the point of Imperial agents take 4. And it's like a science project. Can we get it right? All right. Lane, what are we doing here today?
We're playing the glorious game of Warhammer 40,000. Our deployment today is Crucible of Battle. Our mission special rule is Stalwarts. This means anything with battle line can still do an action and shoot, and they can still do an action if they're in engagement range. And then our actual mission today is Supply Drop. This is good old Alpha and Omega. So we will roll off, and one of these objectives in the middle will disappear turn 4, and one will
by the way, you're right. Disappear at the
end of turn 3.
End of turn 3.
And end of turn 4.
End of turn 4, yep. So, for deployment, this right here in the middle is 1 squad. There's 2 models there for coherency, then 2 inches all the way across of Rogue Trader Entourage in a breacher squad.
I believe that's like a yard. Did you get 3 feet? How many inches is this? Oh my gosh, it's 33 inches. So that's a pretty big chunk for one 85-point unit plus a character unit.
Yeah. So I said, Lane, no, you're where did your infiltrators end up
back here?
They went in the back here.
Yeah.
Well played, guys. Well played. But this is a battle line unit. So at the beginning of the battle, before the game begins, before we decide who goes first, I'm going to get to roll D3 and move D3 battle line units, and I can put them in strategic. So what's going to happen is, literally, no matter what, these guys are getting picked up and most likely go into strategic reserve for the time being. Otherwise, we put a squad of subductors down here. I said it right that time?
You did it.
Yay. In position to make passes on 2 objectives. Deathwatch kill teams back here to do the same. They are right on the... Oh, not quite. I moved them. There's the edge. They're right on the battle line edge so that the guys can go out maximum distance if we decide to go that route. Inquisitor up front. Draxus Rhino with the Navigator in the back. Calidus on the home field objective in case I don't feel like dropping off the Navigator. Both our Helverins are on table. And then under here, we have subductors as well. Oh, by the way, Artemis got infiltrate, and all he did was just move slightly outside of the deployment zone in a nice safe hiding spot. And right over here, we have our Eversor Assassin. He has a 9-inch scout move, so he can get out of there if he needs to. All right, your turn, Lane.
We're just all on the line, ready to go here. So we've got Marneus Calgar and the Bladeguard vets here. Jump Intercessors ready to go into the middle of the table. Got a Whirlwind, Dev Sense ready to be uppy-downied. The Infiltrators, because they couldn't infiltrate because DJ blocked out the entire deployment zone, or in no man's land. We have the Land Raider full of Eradicators and a Whirlwind over here. In Deep Strike, I've got 6-mana Plasma Scepters, and Uriel Ventress is in Strategic Reserve.
For me, we have these back 2 Rhinos have Breachers. What's in your Land Raider before I run away?
Eradicators.
Eradicators and Land Raider. For me, I have Breachers in both of these back Rhinos. Inquisitor up front, Draxus in the back. Deathwatch kill team over here, as well as 3 Voidsmen at arms in Deep Strike. And that's it for right now. All right. So before we decide who goes first, I have to roll to see how many units I will redeploy or anything. So we get a 1. So that's easy.
Which one's it going to be, DJ?
Gee, I have no idea. Probably the one that is like just hanging out in the wind.
You don't want them to get wrecked right away?
Yeah, no. So they're going to get picked up and put into strategic reserve. I can speak for the first battle round. And then all that's left is to roll the dice to determine who goes first. So let's just do that. Lane, you want to go first or second?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Either way, it's fine. I don't care.
I mean, my answer would be no.
Yeah.
Just no.
I mean, I'll be downing with my Dev Sense. It's better if I go second. So
I'd like to go first, probably, just so I can zone out, because I know I'm going to lose a lot to the Whirlwind. So probably trying to score early is better for me, I think. All right, let's see. Nope.
That's me first.
You're going first. I'm going second. All right. So like we said, I'm just going to pick up that battle line unit, put in strategic. And, well, it's time to play the game.
So before we get to my first turn, this is supply drop, Alpha and Omega. So we rolled off for the No Man's Land objectives. This objective here will be disappearing at the end of turn 3, and this one will disappear at the end of turn 4. The first, for battle rounds 2 and 3, each No Man's Land objectives is 5 points. Then in turn 4, they're 8 points, and then the turn 5, they're 15 points. So we'd roll for those. I pulled Extend Battle Lines and Cleanse. Excellent first turn pulls here. The Land Raider scooched up to cleanse there. Jump Intercessors jumped up and cleansed here. And then we had oathed this squad of subductors here. Pounded them with both Whirlwinds. Kill, what, 5 guys out of the squad?
And a dog. No.
I called the dog.
And a dog.
I called the dog? So sad. So this is a good scoring turn. Not a lot of killing, obviously, turn 1, but good scoring with 9 on secondaries. On to DJ's turn.
So for this turn, we're looking at Bring It Down as well as Sabotage. So starting with Sabotage, Artemis stayed put, and he's going to try and sabotage in there. Now for Bring It Down, well, there's only one choice. A big honkin' Land Raider. So what we did was we first moved the shield dudes. I can't screw it up. I just call them shield dudes.
Shield dudes, the subductors.
Forward, and they got overwatched, which I was kind of hoping would happen. So then I could move the kill team out in full strength to be able to charge. We did select the Land Raider as our +1 to hit target, so we'll be hitting on 3s with the hammer, and I will spend the command point most definitely to give these guys lance and sustained hits when they charge into combat. Otherwise, over here, we have this rhino that just kind of scooted its butt backwards a little bit, and it's going to fire a hunter killer missile down at the Land Raider, as well as that rhino over there. Both my Helverins are able to draw a line of sight and try and hit it from down here. And then this one just kind of moved out. We're going to use the firing hatch rule to shoot. We're within 12 of them, so we'll just shoot probably the Melt-A-Gun and definitely the Psychic Flamer from the Inquisitor. And then all of its guns too, minus the Hunter Killer Missile, which we might just get crazy and shoot it down there and try and get lucky and pick a Centurion up. Who knows? We might get wild with it. Otherwise, Subductors moved over here. The remnants of this squad, both are kind of beat up. If there's anything left over here, they can try and charge just to hit an objective steal if these guys are still around. All right, first things first, let's do some shooting. So shooting-wise, didn't do a lot of damage. It's going to come down to the Death Watch and combat, and hopefully they can do some work to the Land Raider. We fired both Hunter Killer missiles from here into the Land Raider and hit, but failed to wound. Then over here, this Hunter Killer missile fired downrange and thwopped a Centurion. 4 on the damage. Beautiful, beautiful thing. So I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to answer these guys. Well, I got rid of one of them. Anyways, the rest of the tank really didn't do too much. We were only able to, with the Flamer, the Melta, as well as the Bolter on the Rhino, we only picked up one of these guys. So that makes that charge a little bit scarier for these buddies. Everything else that shot at the Land Raider did, in fact, fail. The only damage that we put on it was by giving these guys the grenade strat to do some mortal damage. All right. Well, that was it for shooting, and now we're going to do some charges and see if these Death Watch can't pick up a Land Raider. So I'm happy to say my predictions for this game were already wrong. I was able to destroy the Land Raider. The Death Watch were able to do it. Big hammers, big numbers with the sustain and all that. Other notes, we did pile into the Eradicators got out. They didn't do very much. They did 2 damage in total, but an interesting little thing we found. Only 2 of them were able to make it into combat because of the Consolidate. But then when we did the pile-in, 2 more were able to make it in engagement. The rule for their fight on death says if the model has not fought this phase, and those 2 models that were not able to attack didn't fight. So when 2 of them died, I was able to roll for that, which was kind of cool, just some cool little neat tech. Over here, we got 2 dudes left. So he has 3. Unfortunately, we didn't contest it, so we're just going to lose the Subductors. I needed to do a little more damage before going in there, but I knew that leaving the Subductors back there with the play that I made, they were going away. So got them down to 3. It's going to be annoying because they're going to be able to bounce around the field and do other stuff, and they have another unit that can hold that objective for them going into it. So that's going to be some points for Lane on primary, and we're just waiting to see if how our sabotage resolves. All right. Over to the Space Marines.
Okay, on my turn, I got 5 on primaries because I do control 1 objective. I pulled Sabotage and no prisoners. So, Uriel Ventress is going to walk on the table edge here. There he is. There he is. So he can sabotage. He's definitely going to live forever. And then, so Calgar's unit came up here to charge these guys and finish them off. We moved up here with the infiltrators. The dev sense just scooched a little bit to the left so they could pour some hot heat on the Death Watch. Gonna have to kill my Death Watch. And then the Plasma Inceptors dropped in here. We're just gonna try and clear out this whole area. So the Death Watch, the remaining Subductors, and this Rhino. We're just gonna try and clear that all out of there. Yeah, that's it. We'll do a little shooting. So we shot and shooted and shooted and shot and picked up all the Death Watch except the Watchmaster still there. I even split fire with the Plasma Inceptors going into him and the Rhino, but he spiked his 4-up inbounds and survived. And the Rhino took 9 wounds. And I blew up 2 of my Plasma Inceptors, guys. That's not what we want to see.
And I did use the strat for free to go 4-up invuln on them just so that everybody had a 4-up invuln and try to move them onto the objective.
Yeah. So we're going to do a little charging here. Marnius is going to bop some of these Subductors. So do a little fighting and be right back. No surprise here. Marius Calgar and his squad was able to pick up the last 2 subductors. One of them did fight on death but failed to wound. And then I charged in with my Whirlwind and Tank Shock and picked up the last 3 subductors. Those guys just take so much work to chew through. But we still have, this Watchmaster here who's going to do some damage because he's still kind of strong. That's it. So we scored no prisoners because I killed several units. Yeah, at least 3 units, so I got 5 on that. And we're sabotaging with Uriel Ventress over here. On to DJ's turn.
Recover assets and assassination is the name of this turn. So we're going to try, for the recover assets, we deep struck some Voidsmen at arms, and I'm sure, as Lane likes to say, they're going to live forever. Then we have the battle line units are able to still do actions and shoot, so we're going to do the home field area with one of my Helverins, this guy back here. And then for center, this Rhino right here is going to try and see if it can't survive, because there's no long-range weapons that would be itching to take them out. Anyways, other things we're doing. We moved the Rhino. Lane debated. No Overwatch here. And we brought in Breachers from Strategic. Left the Watchmaster to sit still. And we're going to try and beat these guys up. Also able to draw a firing lane is going to be these Helverins. I have to be careful, though, because they're limited. One of them is only able to see the first 2. So, and then as I start eliminating them, these guys start to become less and less efficient. So I got to be careful on how and who I shoot and when. All the way over here, we're bringing in the mob. So all these breachers come out to play, and they're going to shoot at Marinus Calgar. We're going to marinate some Calgar.
You're going to shoot a who now?
We're going to marinate some Calgar over here. We're going +1 to hit into him. We have the full rerolls to wound. We got anti-infantry on Draxus. We got breachers. We got breachers. We got breachers. So we're going to do all that work. Now, as far as this little who-to-what's-it,
Uriel Ventress.
Sure. That's hanging out here trying to sabotage this terrain. The Eversor came over, not overcharging yet. Still got that buff. And the Calidus landed. As long as he dies, I don't care when, if it's shooting, if it's fighting. We just need to remove for assassinate. All right, we got a bunch of shooting. Let's see what we can do. Well, that was a happy little shooting phase. So these breachers, we're going to go across the table. We'll start over here with the Rogue Trader and the breachers over here. So the first thing I shot at the now vanished magic trick, the Plasma Intercessors. Pick another letter, GW. Here they are. These guys. First one shot, the one in front. He could only see 2 of them. Picked up 1. Then we shot with these guys, losing a couple shots in the back, and they absolutely just obliterated the rest of them. We used the free strat for sustained and ignore cover, and it was the Melt-A-Gun that really did the day in by hitting a 6 and sustaining for an additional shot. Go Melt-A-Gun. So we cleared everything off there except for this Whirlwind for now. Over here, Artemis shot and missed, so he's going to charge in and see if he can't punch some Marines in the face. And then over here, the Breachers. So this squad with Draxus just went normal. Spent a command point to throw grenades with them. And then over here, we spent a command point to go +1 strength, +1 AP at a unit within 12 inches. That combined with reroll wounds, Calgar stands alone with 1 wound remaining.
Just 1 little wound.
Just 1.
New painted model syndrome there. They got hit pretty hard by some breachers.
And speaking of models with 1 wound left, got one over here. So the Eversor is going to have to try and make that charge and clean that up. We can try and stick a 9 with the Calidus, but somebody's closer. So I believe that's it for shooting right now. I was pretty happy with the breachers output. Let's do some charges. So we charged here. I charged the Rhino first, was thinking about a tank shock, but decided to save the command points on it. Didn't really feel like I would pick up the Whirlwind, and when I hit with the Watchmaster, I dropped it down to 9. Is it remaining? Yeah. So that's kind of where I figured that would be the case. But I wanted to charge first so that Lane didn't get squirrely with his no command points that he had and try and charge this. But also at the same time, too, now I take this objective from him, so at least he's not scoring those primaries. Unfortunately, though, he does control this one, and he will score those primaries because Artemis was only able to pick up 2 of the Marines and took a smack back himself. So close, so close. Over here, no charges over here. So that's going to be, oh, I'm sorry, there was one. Eversor did finish the job, so I did pick up the 5 on Assassinate. So that's going to be my turn. We didn't do too bad. We're still giving Lane some primary points. I don't like that, but we're making progress in other areas. So let's kick it back over to the Space Marines.
All right, this turn I've got behind enemy lines and defend stronghold.
We did forget to battle shock this Rhino.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about this. So actually, I did not stop him from scoring points on that primary.
So I'd score primary there and there. Oh, these guys are falling back as well. They're falling back. Scoocher. So,
cowards.
Strategic withdrawal.
Cowards.
Yep. And then, okay, so Eradicators moved up here so they can shoot the Rhino and then charge these guys. Hopefully shut off TJ's recover assets. DevSense stepped out here. Whirlwind pulled out so he can Hunter Killer Missile down here. Pop this. Recover assets. Trying to shut down some secondaries. We, with a moment, these guys going to try to bop them with Marnius Galgar on his lone wounds and single wound, and these guys. So we're going to charge in there, see if we can wreck that squad, putting us in a difficult position here. Breachers definitely did more damage this turn, or in DJ's turn, than I thought they would. So I'm going to do a little shooting, see what happens. This Whirlwind fired into Artemis, and I got like 8 shots and only hit once. So it did not do any damage to him. That was a big old whiff there. These Eradicators popped this Rhino, picking him up, and then they're going to charge in and try to finish off these guys. DevSense shot down here, popped this Rhino, and then got this one down to 2. And then the last Whirlwind shot into these guys. DJ did tank a bunch of shots on the 4-up invuln of the shield guy in there, so he got his money's worth from there. But now we're going to charge in with these guys, try and finish them off and take that objective. Yeah, it's a couple charges. See how we go. Oh my gosh, guys. We charged in here. DJ overwatched because the
Inquisitor
does have a flamer. He did pick up 1.5 of the intercessors because I charged with them first. And then Marnius Calgar made his charge. So just these 2 guys wrecked the rest of the squad, but left the Inquisitor with 1 wound left because DJ just spec'd his 5-up saves after Marnius Calgar punched him real hard in his face. And then over here, the Watchmaster just did 3 more wounds to the Whirlwind. So, and then the Eradicators punched all those guys out. So we did shut down his for his primary, and we shut down recover assets because we killed 2 of his recover assets units. So, all right, didn't really score much. I got defense stronghold behind enemy lines. Is not going to happen. Yeah, but now it is DJ's turn.
Establish locus, and we're still trying to recover assets. So this objective marker is about to go bye-bye. Not too worried about it per se, but I do want to get the assets recovered, and I do want to remove some units that could potentially hit the center, which is where the game's going to end up in a little bit. So we're going to try and finish off this Whirlwind. That's why we fell back with this Watchmaster.
No, you did you?
Yes. So we could shoot with these guys into it, try and see if we can't pick it off. And if we do happen to get lucky and do a bit amount of damage, actually, I don't have to fall back with him, do I?
Yeah, you'll be -1 to hit.
Because can he charge back in?
Oh, no, it's only when he's leading a unit.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to leave him in combat. We'll take the -1 to hit. That's fine. Because like he's getting a -1 to hit anyways because you're outside of 12 inches. So yeah, he'll stay in combat, and we'll go from there on that part. But if we happen to take him out before we get to it, the Helver in here can always shoot at these Eradicators. Since he's got flat 3 damage, if he fails and he saves, guy dies, even though there's a guy with 1 wound left. Try and leaving that wound behind, Lane. That was hard work for that.
We leave all our wounds behind.
So, well played. Stood still. We're going to charge and fire and shoot and all that stuff here. Did bring the Calidus back down, so she's going to recover assets middle while he's recovering assets in the backfield again. But he is battle line, so he's going to shoot over here. We're going to try and clear center this turn. Over here, we are establishing locus with these guys. And we are going to try and recover assets in Lane's deployment zone over there with the last of the Voidsmen. Hopefully it'll stick because that'd be great for the 6. We did fall back with the Inquisitor, and we brought everyone else up to just clear. We got 1 wound on 2 dudes on a Calgar. Like I said, we're going to marinate some Calgar. All right, let's do some shooting. So I did a good amount of damage to this whirlwind. It's down to 2. Hopefully the Watchmaster can finish the job. Strongly debating charging these guys in, but I don't think it's really worth it since that objective is about to disappear and the Eradicators are over here. So not an ideal play. Over here, Artemis, they did 1 wound. So now he's going to have to charge and hopefully he can finish these guys off. They're annoying me. But positives, Calgar got marinated. And so did his little buddy that hung out there too. So, all that's left is to do some charging and call it a turn. All right, let's run. So, yes, this objective is about to disappear, but we were victorious in taking out the whirlwind, and that's helpful because we are eliminating a lot of Lane's assets here. He still has the Eradicators back here, and yes, he can pick a unit up and move them around the field and stuff like that, which is probably going to occur. Over here, Artemis dropped the squad down to 1. And that was it for our fight. So we did establish Locust in the back deployment zone. These 2 Marines are not there. Ignore those 2 Marines. And that's going to be it for our turn. Oh, we're recovering assets. So that's going to be it. All right, over to Lane and the top of turn 4.
So we bring it down and overwhelming force. So we're going to try and kill things that are on objectives. Really just means this Artemis here, and then we are going to try and pick up this guy here, the Helvrin with the Eradicators that uppy downied. So, and then we're going to try and kill these guys to try and shut down the recover assets with the Whirlwind. So we did oath these guys. Yeah, let's do a little bit of shooting and see what happens. Nothing really happened in the shooting here. Failed the, hit some wounds here from Dev Sense into the Watchmaster. DJ made all his invulns. Shot him, killed him, needed a CP reroll to do it, but then he bopped back up at the end of the phase and then failed to finish this squad here. Killed them down to 1 guy with a whirlwind. Just need to see if we can make a charge into there, maybe. Eradicators whiffed. DJ made, I think, 3 out of 4, 5 up invulns. Yeah. So I only got 1 through here. So didn't manage to pick up that. So that was a tough turn for me. Now I just need to make some really long charges. So Dev Sense need an 8-inch charge into Artemis. Give me that 8. Oh, that's a 9. We go. Okay. And then this whirlwind needs something. 10 will do it. 10 will do it.
That might be a something. That is a something. But you have no command points.
No command points. Just going to have to bonk. The whirlwind picks up the last of these guys, at least taking away 1 of DJ's recovery assets. He still gets 2, so he still is able to pull that off for at least 3 points then. And then the Dev Sense were able to pick up Artemis, and he died his 2nd time. So on to DJ's turn. He's going to get his first primary of the game here. Turn
for
5.
8 points.
8 points. 8. All right, on to DJ's turn. Oh, I just scored overwhelming force. Just 1, right? Because I killed Artemis. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I got overwhelming force for 3. They'll bring it down yet.
Looking at containment and secured no man's land for the turn. So secure is going to be a little tough because that means the Centurions have to go away. So for containment, he's a battle line unit, so he's going to do containment here on this edge, and then the Voidsmen are going to do it over there. Next up, we are going to put everything in the world onto the Centurions. We are looking at +1 to hit for the Imperial units, so not the Armigers, but everything else is ready to just absolutely bring to bear. We got Calidus, the Evisor popped his strat, or his ability. Draxus moved up into range. The Inquisitor's in range. The Navigator came up to hit them with the ability, and the Navigator battle shocked them, removing that scent that had 1 wound left on it and doing 2. That was for you, Artemis. Then these guys moved up. We're going to pop some cats on them so that they get no cover and then start shooting with some of these guns at them from the breachers. And we got a Watchmaster. He wants to try and play if there's anything left. So, all right. Time to do some shooting. Wow, I am actually surprised that at the end of this game, I will say I've taken out the Centurions and the Land Raider. In the shooting phase, we did a ton of work. From the breachers over here, and of course, Inquisitor Draxus and the regular Inquisitor just did so much damage in here. Anti-infantry galore. These guys did a lot of work. Really did. So did Draxus. I can't. It was just so much went in there. There is 1 Centurion left with 1 wound, so we did charge, let the Eversor pick up, and the Calidus in there too, just to put extra on that home field objective. So that is going to be the turn. We are going to score max on containment, which I believe is 6 on that one. Is containment a 6er?
Yeah.
Oh, man. So we got the 6er on containment, and we did secure no man's land for 5. So good turn on secondaries, and we skunk Lane on primaries. All right, over to Lane in the turn 5.
It is not looking good for the Space Marines, guys. Maybe I'm wrong about these Imperial agents. I got secure no man's land and containment. I'm not going to be able to contain anything here. We're just going to try to go for no man's land here and see if we can stop DJ from scoring primary at the end of the game, which will be really tricky. So I'm going to start doing a little bit of shooting here. Eradicators jumped on the table over there after I uppy downy them. They're going to try and charge into these guys to kind of shut them down.
And Breachers are out.
Then Breachers are Oath. We're going to try to blast them with some Whirlwind. So we'll do a little shooting. Eradicators got their spike kill on the Helvrin, but failed their charge into the Breachers here. And then the Whirlwind failed his charge in here. So that's it. DJ's
turn to command point on the Breachers in the middle, so I gave them the 4-up invuln and then the extra move, just so I can make sure that they were in position and blocking a little bit. Yeah,
he did the little Scoochie-Doochie and kind of protected the Eversor and the Assassins from the charge. But yeah, I've only rolled a 4 on the charge, so didn't make it. So on to DJ's turn.
So for my turn, I literally just took a knee. We tried to see if we could make it over here to cleanse. We were not in range for it because we got cleanse as well as defend stronghold, which we're still holding our home field with the Helvrin. So we just said, okay, let's not do anything silly. We're not moving. We're able to cleanse over here. We already control the objective for 15 points at the end of the game, and everyone else just stayed put. Yes, we could have been spiteful and shot into these guys, but that's not what Warhammer's about. So
it's absolutely about spite. What are you talking about?
It is, but you know what? I want to have this glorious moment of literally just skipping my last turn, taking a knee with the Imperial agents, and walking away with a final score: Imperial agents 69 to a Space Marine 45. Nice score, nice win. Agents. 2-2 with them, baby. Think we got one. Think we got a good list out of this. All right, well, follow us over to the post game, and we will talk about all the reactions and how Lane feels about the Imperial agents after this run.